Hello everyone, this is Runs of Scissors, and this is my automatic log shipping machine. I was rather dissatisfied with the lack of automatic AFK-able log shipping machines, so I decided to develop my own. This is rather simple. It's just a piston feed tape hooked up to a TNT duper with a blast chamber, and yeah, so I'll go over how you run it. So you put any extra logs that you want to AFK into this chest here. Turn the machine on and you hold right click. And the logs in your inventory are automatically replenished. And the TNT automatically destroys them as they come out of the feed tape. And they're directed down this water stream into this chest down at the bottom. And yeah, the rates are pretty good. You get about 6,200 per hour, which I think is probably close to the upper limit based off of tool use time. But yeah, let's get into the tutorial. So to start off, this is the list of materials you need. This can be any kind of leaf, any kind of solid block, any kind of glass, any kind of wall, any kind of fence, any kind of sign. It doesn't matter. You can use gravel. So yeah. So to start off, we're going to start with the lowest block in the build, which is this block here. We're going to place 2 blocks off of it. Then we're going to place some leaves coming off of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to make a 3 wide by 8 platform. And then we're going to just waterlog all of this. Okay. And then next, we're going to add our hopper and our double chest. Going to add another leaf block. And a trapdoor. Then add 4 leaf blocks. Then we're going to make this 3 high. Then we're going to waterlog everything again. Okay, and then we're going to make the walls, which are going to be 4 high. And then they're going to extend all the way to the back here to line up with the end. Okay, and then now we're going to do the other side of the blast chamber. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Down 1. And then up to the same height. You can, if you're like low on leaves somehow, you can do a blast chamber 3 high, but you risk damaging stuff nearby. So I like to build this with 4 high leaf walls so that you can fit it into compact spaces without damaging nearby builds. And then you waterlog all of this again. Better hope you have an infinite water source nearby. Okay, and then now we're going to do the actual slot that the feed tape will enter in through. So 3 at the bottom, a gap of 2, 3 up at the top, 2 more, and then you waterlog all of this. Okay, and then once that's all waterlogged, you can come in here and place the water buckets that'll actually feed the items in towards the hopper. And that's the blast chamber done. Now with the blast chamber done, we can work on the bottom part of the feed tape. So we're going to place a block like this, 2 more coming off the side, 1 more coming off the side like that, and then we're going to destroy those 2. Going to place a repeater facing into that block, a lever on, a redstone dust, a solid block up diagonal, and then a piston. We're going to place another piston up on top with one of our walls above the repeater with an observer facing into the wall. Next, we're going to place a solid block followed by another solid block with a redstone dust on top. Okay, next we're going to place a solid block up at the top of the slit, followed by another one diagonal, followed by one more up here. And then we're going to place redstone dust up on top of all of them. And then we're going to place a piston facing down. Okay, and then we're going to place a block diagonal to this block, another block up diagonal to this block with a lever on it. Then we're going to place a repeater facing in towards the piston. Okay, now we're going to take our fence, we're going to place it on top of the piston, and then we're going to take our observer and we're going to face it into the fence, and then we're going to put another solid block behind that, a solid block down and diagonal to that, piece of redstone dust on top of the solid block, carpet, a dropper, chest. Okay, we're going to place the dropper right next to the observer. We're going to place the hopper down into the dropper, and we're going to place chests on top. And this is our feed tape mechanism done. Okay, next we're going to work on the redstone tower. So we're going to place a redstone torch on top of the block with the lever, and then a solid block on top of that, and then a redstone torch on the side of that block. A solid block on top of that, a redstone torch on top of that block, and then another solid block, and then another redstone torch. Once that's all completed, you can place another solid block on top of the redstone torch, another solid block off to the side, and then we can place 2 more solid blocks off to the side like this. A solid block up and diagonal, 2 more solid blocks like that, and 2 more solid blocks like that. You can come in here now with your redstone dust and place 2 just like that. You can place your comparator down like that. You can place another redstone dust facing into the comparator. You can place a redstone repeater down, on 4 ticks, another on 4 ticks, and then another on 4 ticks. Okay. Then we're going to come in here. We're going to place another solid block down like this. Going to place our piston here. And then we're going to place another solid block right here. We're going to place a repeater here. Very important that it stays on 1 tick delay. And then we're going to place a sand right here. Okay, now we're going to work on the TNT duper itself. So we're going to come in here. We're going to place a piston facing this way. And then we're going to place an observer facing this way. And then a TNT next to the observer. And then we're going to place a piston facing in towards the TNT. And then we're going to place solid blocks on top of the observer, the TNT, and the piston. Then we're going to take a slab. We're going to place it in between the 2 solid blocks right there. And then we're going to place redstone up on top. Then we're going to place a solid block behind the observer and a solid block down and behind. Another solid block up, and then redstone dust just like that. Okay, and then we're going to come to the other side, and we're going to add a piece of glass here and here, a wall here down on the bottom, piece of glass here, 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 and here. Then we're going to go out 2 blocks, place a piece of glass, and then you're going to place an oak sign. Then you're going to come up in here, and you're going to place a water bucket. And the water should flow, but not flow down. Okay? And then now that your TNT duper is done, you're going to place a redstone dust right here. And now your machine is done. All you have to do to use it is you have to stand here. Place your wood in your offhand. Place whatever extra wood you have there. Place an initial wood right there. And hold down right click after you turn the machine on. And the machine works perfectly. Alright, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them duly.